Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my channel. In this clip, we want to talk about how we can store our data in our project without using several times of our memory. I want to talk about a scriptable object. Okay, let's take a look at an example of a scriptable object. As you can see, we have a scene which is called a scriptable object, and we have player spawner. In a player spawner, we have just a player prefab, just that, which is this capsule, and position is different. For example, 000. Okay, and this is it. And the name is just player, and just change the name to prefab. Okay, and we have this one, spawn manager value. In the spawn manager value, this object, we have player name and player position. Player name is player 1 and position 231. The use case of this scriptable object is whenever we want to have several objects in our scene, or we want to instantiate several prefabs, but we want to give them the same variable, but no need to have these variables storing in the memory every time. We will use a scriptable object. The good point of the scriptable object is we can store everything inside the editor. And after that, during the game scene or even the app inside the application, we can use these parameters. But during the runtime, not in editor, in our application, we can't store new parameters. We can add new parameters to the scriptable object. Okay. Let's play the scene and look at this. It has instantiated a prefab, a player 1, and position is 231. Okay, let's take a look at this a script of this technique. First of all, we should have a C# script. I called it spawn manager scriptable object. Okay, it is simple. First, we should have using Unity engine, just this, and this address for having access to create this object. And after that, we will call the name of our scriptable object class, but as a type of a scriptable object, not MonoBehaviour. So we can't do any function here. We will just use this for storing data. Storage of all variables. For example, we will have a public string player name and public vector3 position. And if we want to have this object here, we should go to the assets and in this part create a scriptable object. We will have spawn manager scriptable object. As far as we have addressed here, scriptable objects and spawn manager scriptable object. We can add any name we want. And also whenever we click on that object and that button, we will have a scriptable object which called data. Look at this, it is data. If I remove it and I create it from scratch, scriptable object here, look at this, it's called data and it has player name, player 2, and position is 5, 3, 7. Okay, and in the player spawner, we should drag and drop this parameter to this guy. But what is player spawner script? This can be any script, but the point is how we can use the parameters from a scriptable object. In here, we should have a public spawn manager scriptable object, the name of this class, and after that, this is the variable of this object. And in our function, what matter is just the use case of this scriptable object. the purpose of the function is not important. For example, in void start, I've instantiated a prefab. I called it object, and object name, it is a spawn manager value, player name, this guy, and for the position, spawn manager values dot player position. This is exactly what we have now. Or for example, I can say public, I don't know, color, player color. Okay. And in here, I'll say object dot get component renderer dot material dot color equal spawn manager values dot player color. Okay, let's come back to our scene. Whenever we click on here, we will have player color, and for example, my favorite color, green. Okay, that's it. We have player 2 and the position 5, 3, 7, and the color is green. Whenever we want to have another script, but we want to use these information again, we will call this function again. Okay. I hope this tutorial will be helpful for you. Don't hesitate to ask any question related to Unity, AR, VR, and XR. Subscribe my channel if you like it, and like this video if you like it. Have a great time. Bye bye.